Evaluating multivariable expressions. X divided by y is equal to 5. What is 7y divided by x? So here we have two variables instead of just one, so we can't just solve for values and then just plug it in. So we need to do some algebraic manipulation to solve this. So let's ignore this 7 and let's solve for y over x. Let's see if we can solve for that first. So here we have x divided by y. So to solve for y divided by x, we need to raise both sides of this to the -1 power. And if you know your exponent rules, you know that this will cause it to flip. So we'll be left with y divided by x. So to get the reciprocal of a fraction, you raise it to the -1 power. So now that we have y divided by x on this side, what is this other side going to be equal to? Well, here we have 5 divided by 1, so the reciprocal of that is going to be 1 divided by 5. So now we have y divided by x is equal to 1/5. But we need 7y divided by x. So if we have y over x here, we can just multiply by 7 on both sides to get our answer. So 7 times y divided by x is 7y over x. And then 7 times 1/5 is going to be 7/5. So 7 divided by 5. So 7y divided by x is equal to 7 over 5. 4 times 2a minus b is equal to 13a. What is b divided by a? So again, we have two variables, we can't just solve for values and then plug them in. So we need to do some manipulation here. So if we want b divided by a, we should first try to isolate b, and then we can divide both sides by a and get our answer. So let's see if we can do that. The first obvious step here is to distribute, so let's do that. 4 times 2a is going to be 8a, and then 4 times -b is going to be -4b, and that will be equal to 13a. And now, to get all of our a's on one side and all of our b's on the other, we can subtract 8a from both sides. So -4b is going to be equal to 13 minus 8, which is going to be 5. So that's going to be 5a. And now we have all of our b's on one side, all of our a's on the other. So let's see if we can isolate our b again. We can divide by -4 on both sides, and that will isolate our b. But just to do like a 2-in-1 move here, we can also divide by a on both sides. So divide both sides by -4 times a. So that way, on this side, we will be left with b divided by a, because these -4's will cancel, and we'll have b over a. And then over here, the a's will cancel, so we'll be left with a number. So finally, we have our answer. It's going to be b divided by a is equal to 5 divided by -4, which is -5 divided by 4. Remember, the negative floats. So b divided by a is equal to -5 divided by 4. So this one is a little more complicated. We have 9x plus 12y is equal to 15, and 6x plus 8y is equal to z. So here we have a system of equations instead of just a singular equation. And we also have 3 variables instead of 2. And we're asked to solve for z. So if this combination of x and y is equal to 15, and this combination of x and y is equal to z, there may be a proportion between this and this. So that might help us solve for z. So let's simplify this first. Let's divide by 3, because 9, 12, and 15 are all divisible by 3. So we will have 3x, and then add 12 divided by 3 is 4, and then set that equal to 5. So we have 3x plus 4y is equal to 5. And then we have 6x plus 8y is equal to z. And you may see that 3x times 2 is 6x, and 4y times 2 is 8y. So if we multiply this entire thing by 2, we will get 6x plus 8y, which is equivalent to z, and then that's going to be equal to 10. So if 6x plus 8y is equal to z, and 6x plus 8y is also equal to 10, then we know that z is going to be equal to 10. So that was one way of solving this, but there is another way, and that is to solve for one of the variables in our first equation and plug it into our second one using substitution. So we don't need to start back at this first equation here. We can just use the simplified version. So 3x plus 4y is equal to 5. And let's solve for one of these variables. I'm going to solve for x. So the first step is to subtract 4y on both sides. And then we will have 3x is equal to 5 minus 4y. And now we can divide by 3. And now we have x is equal to 5 minus 4y divided by 3. So now we can plug this value for x into 6x plus 8y. So now let's plug this x value in. We have 6, and then that's going to be multiplied by 5 minus 4y divided by 3. And then we add 8y, and that's going to be equal to z. So let's start by simplifying the numbers here. We have 6 divided by 3 is going to be 2. So we're going to have 2 times 5 minus 4y. And then we add 8y to that. And now 2 times 5 minus 4y. 2 times 5 is 10. And then 2 times negative 4y is negative 8y. So now if I just scroll down a bit, 8 minus 8y is just going to be 0. So we will be left with z is equal to 10, which is the exact same answer we got before.